Welcome back to the Ross Bolen Podcast, otherwise known as RBP, presented by Bolen Media. I am your host, Ross Bolen, back with your co-host, Chris Coulson. Chris Coulson, how are you, sir?
Doing great, Ross. Happy Monday.
Did you have a good weekend?
I had a fantastic weekend. I was
feel
with
like we
you
both
for
did.
a lot of the weekend.
Yeah, we enjoyed it together.
Yeah, we
as
did.
a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked hard, played hard.
Both.
Best of both worlds. How can you ask for more?
It's called balance.
Balance.
The yin and the yang.
We're the yin and yang.
Which one are you? Is it yin or ying?
It's yin. Yin and yang.
I've been saying that wrong for...
His whole life. 33
years.
Yeah.
33 years. We have a ton to cover today. So that was it. That was all your small talk up front. No more chit-chat, no more meaningless frivolities, just straight business today. So let's go. RBP 319 is brought to you by Cuts Clothing. Y'all know I'm a t-shirt god. I wear t-shirts every day. Half the reason I chose this career was so I could wear t-shirts every day. The other half was so I could make people laugh. The t-shirt is a menswear staple, but it's been long plagued by horrible conditions like shrinkage, bacon neck, color fade, parachute fit, wrinkles, and stretching, to name a few. No matter how long you've settled for basic tees, it's long enough. Every classic deserves a modern take, and Cuts Clothing has completely changed the game. If you're watching on youtube.com/Bolen Media, you can see me wearing one of their fine products right now. I'm rocking their shirts at least 3 days a week at this point. Their t-shirt has enough quality and style to wear into the office, on a date, or anywhere in between. You don't have to choose between a classic look and a modern feel. In 2016, Stephen Borelli was struggling to find the perfect t-shirt. He wanted something that had enough quality to be worn professionally at work, yet enough style for a night out, and no matter where he looked, nothing fit the bill. So he took matters into his own hands, and the result was a product you could be proud to wear anytime, anywhere, without sacrificing comfort. Call it the Steve Jobs advantage if you must. Stop spending so much time and energy picking out clothes in the morning. Just throw on a Cuts t-shirt, some pants, and get on with your day. You'll be ready for anything. The simple sophistication and versatility of a Cuts shirt means you'll never again have to spend time worrying and thinking about what you should wear. That's why Cuts is the only shirt worth wearing, loved by your favorite athletes, entrepreneurs, and even podcast hosts. It seems like everyone is wearing Cuts these days. Again, youtube.com/Bolen Media. You can see me wearing one right now. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/RBP. That's Cuts Clothing, CUTS, clothing.com/RBP for 15% off your first order, 15% off the only shirt worth wearing. Now, announcements and shouts. Big shouts to every single one of our listeners above the age of, let's say, 30. Y'all are awesome. Biggest shouts to all the middle-aged aunts out there who have been taking the same joke over and over every episode. I received a couple of messages over the past couple weeks from our older demographic being like, hey, get off our ass. Quit making fun of us. I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening and supporting, even when I drop 100 F-bombs an episode and am generally inappropriate. It means a lot. Happy very early birthday to Will out of the College of Idaho coming up August 30th. Happy 20th birthday to Clayton coming August 11th. Huge birthday. Happy birthday to Mitch's brother.
Mitch's brother.
He forgot to give me your name, but you're Mitch's brother and it's your birthday. This dude hollered at me twice on 2 different mediums and didn't give me your name either time. Come on, Mitch. WTF, mate. Caden, who is a Sigma Nu at Texas State, hit me up to tell me they are no longer the metrosexual fraternity. Back when I was there, Sigma Nu was like all affliction tees, spiked hair, and steroids, and tanning beds. Also, birthday shouts to several brothers in that chapter, including Grant Tucker, August 3rd, Caden is August 7th, Rudy Montero, August 10th, and Eric Laramindi, August 12th. Congrats on having made it out of that metrosexual era. And the hair spiking and the affliction tees and the 2005 madness or sadness, both. Happy birthday to Kale in Minneapolis. Thanks for listening to OCC so much and to RBP. We appreciate you. We have a new Instagram account that Coles has launched, at Trash License Plates. Coles, what happens on at Trash License Plates?
Oh, I will shame you for your trash license plates. Just know, if you find your own license plate on there, you're being shamed. And I'm going to make the caption something to shame you and to let you know you've made a mistake in your life. But
your vanity plates are no longer safe.
No, they are not. So send all the trash license plates that you see at Trash License Plate on Instagram or to one of us personally, and we'll
keep
get
them
it up
coming
there.
at our Snapchats if you must. We're pulling them from there, putting them up on Instagram stories on at the Ross Bolen Podcast Instagram. Coles is pulling the best ones and putting them at Trash License Plates.
The good thing is, though, if you get featured, there's time to redeem yourself. Go out there, get a normal license plate, send that in, we'll redeem you.
You can change. It's not too late. It's not too late. Last night from 6 to 9 p.m. Central on Twitch, Arian Foster, former Texans running back great, also known as Bobby Fino, a musician, phenomenal rapper, hip-hop artist, musician. We went live on Twitch together and talked mental health, race, religion, politics, marriage, and more. We had a blast. Thanks to everybody who tuned in on twitch.tv/bossrollin. It's Ross Bolen with the B and the R reversed. It's not that hard. We will put the full stream up on youtube.com/Bolen Media for y'all to watch. There was not much gaming in this stream, but again, we will put it. It was a great conversation.
Absolutely.
We had lots of laughs, lots of very serious subjects as well, which is typically the way. That's the mix I like.
Yeah, the normal Twitch stream, we usually go about snorkeling level of depth.
Sure.
You guys went scuba.
Yeah.
You went all in.
He dragged me down there.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I wasn't even trying.
Depths of the ocean.
I was like,
I popped in for the first time I popped in for about 10 minutes, and Arian Foster was talking about the calming feeling he felt before thinking he was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was cool with it.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, that's the opposite of how I feel when I have a panic attack. But we got into his experiences with anxiety and panic and mine as well. Also,
it was really cool because Ross and Arian have a lot of similar opinions and ideas on the way the world works and things like that, but they also have a lot of differing ones. So it was a nice mix of, coming to a good conclusion as well as agreeing to disagree on certain things.
Oh,
it was a very
absolutely.
healthy conversation, and especially in today's day and age, I feel like too many people are very quick to hate and shut people down.
We talked about that too, the fact that it's so difficult to have a conversation where when you disagree with people, everybody shuts off.
Yeah.
Right? Well, me and him don't agree on a lot of shit, but we're still able to talk to each other.
And it went great.
And it was a lot of fun. Yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to throw that entire stream up on youtube.com/Bolen Media. You can also watch full episodes of this podcast and full video on youtube.com/Bolen Media. Thanks to the good folks at Permanent Record here. With our great camera setup. So yeah, typically on twitch.tv/bossrollin, if you're not looking at a special event like last night with Arian Foster, it's Coles and I playing Warzone for the most part and trying to catch dubs.
Yeah.
We're trying to get wins. We play with podcast listeners constantly. There's only a couple things you have to do to play with us, which we describe over and over every time we're live on twitch.tv/bossrollin, so we won't do it today. We're up over 900 subscribers now.
Crazy.
Which is funny because when I did this exact same promo last week, the number was 600.
Mm-hmm.
We had quite the fucking week.
And 600 is
still a good amount.
A huge amount of subscribers, especially for us not being full-time streamers.
And not even Twitch partners yet. We're still on affiliate. We're trying to make partner. Anytime you see us go live on Twitch, come through, support the stream. It means a lot. If we get partner status, we get a much bigger cut of our revenue, and it becomes a legitimate revenue stream for Bolen Media, for Coles and I to focus much more time on. We just invested in a brand new streaming computer so that both of us will be on badass rigs. And we're very excited to get that in. Got a new desk, got new keyboards and mice, all kinds of shit. It's been a blast. We're really enjoying it. Twitch.tv/bossrollin. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, all you have to do to support the show, even if you don't care about gaming, if you don't particularly want to watch live streams and you just want to listen to the podcast, that's fine. Stop by for 2 minutes. Hook your Amazon Prime account up to Twitch. Amazon owns Twitch, okay? You get one free Twitch Prime subscription per month, and you can use it right there on twitch.tv/bossrollin. That's income that goes directly to us and is huge for us in growing the stream and keeping things rolling in the right direction on Twitch. So do it. Get on there. If you're confused about how that works, we explain it to you in the chat. Just say, hey, I want to hook up my Amazon. What do I do? And we'll tell you real quick. It's super easy. And then you can bounce and get on with your day or stay, enjoy the entertainment, and talk with us. We respond to viewers in chat pretty much the entire time. And as I said, we play with podcast listeners constantly. That's that. First segment, insane headlines of the day. We have two today, Coles.
Here we go.
Two very absurd ones. And if anybody listening thought that we weren't going to start with this one, I don't know what to tell you. Man who lost penis to blood infection has new one built on his arm. I think my dad sent me this story on Friday. My dad's gotten to the point now where anytime he sees something that he's like, well, you have to talk about this, and he sends it to me.
Yeah.
He's always right. As much as I'm like, oh, Dad, I don't want to. We're going to talk about the penis arm guy. I have to.
We have to.
This show was built for moments like this.
You guys have legal obs. We have legal obs.
We do.
This is our legal obligation to talk about the man who lost his penis to a blood infection and now has a new one built on his arm.
Where he even got an extra 2 inches added.
He did for $15,000 more.
It was $15,000 more for the 2 inches?
Yeah, it would have been. That's $7,500 an inch. That's kind of crazy. That's the rate of a penis these days, apparently. But he was paying $50,000 up front.
Man.
But the extra 2 inches have bumped it to $65,000, based on the sources that I've seen.
$65,000 appendage.
Yeah.
Holy God. Yeah, some of the quotes from this story are absolutely insane. This is a British guy, okay?
Yeah, the quotes are fantastic.
His penis fell off
due to a blood infection.
because of this blood infection.
Which, first of all, what a tragic way to lose your penis. Not even like if your penis gets shot off, kind of cool. I mean, you lost your penis in a gunfight.
At least there was a reason beyond like nature took it from you.
If nature takes it from you, it begs the question: do you deserve it back?
I don't know, man. I always read stories about people like swimming in rivers and some parasite swims up their pee hole, and the next thing you know, the penis is gone. And I'm like, I've been in rivers. It's hard for me to hate on the penisless.
That's natural selection, though. If you still have your penis, obviously it's meant to be. You need it for something.
Maybe. Malcolm McDonald, 45 years old, a mechanic. It was an infection that turned his fingers, toes, and manhood black, the Sun reported. Quote, I had struggled for years with an infection in my perineum, but I had no idea what could happen. The separated dad of two from Thetford, Norfolk, told the outlet. Why separated dad of two? Did we have to get that detail? When I saw my penis go black, I was beside myself. It was like a horror film. I was in a complete panic. I knew deep down it was gone, and I was going to lose it. He said he was completely gutted when his penis, quote, just dropped off onto the floor in 2014, but his testicles remained intact.
That's got to be a sight.
According to the outlet. Quote, because I had been through the devastation of knowing I was going to lose it, I just picked it up and put it in the bin. He threw it away. British people call trash cans bins. Did you know?
I can't believe he just tossed his willy.
Did you know? Now you know. Quote, I went to the hospital and they said the best thing it could do for me was roll the remaining stump up like a little sausage roll. It was heartbreaking. So he became a recluse and started drinking heavily. Quote, for 2 years after losing my penis, I felt the shadow of a man. My life really fell apart because I had no self-confidence. I drank too much. I didn't see family and friends. I just didn't want to have to face up to it. Which, frankly, look, man, if my dick falls off, I'm not going to be up for social outings.
No.
Even pre-COVID.
It's just not.
How do you go enjoy yourself and have a conversation the whole time you're thinking about how your dick is gone?
Because at some point, it's going to come up that your dick is gone.
I just don't even understand.
It's just such a part of life.
Then he found out from his doctor about the so-called, quote, penis master. Professor David Ralph of London's University College Hospital, I think. Mm-hmm. The phallus expert famously created a, quote, bionic penis for Andrew Wardle, who was born without one, according to The Sun. McDonald said it gave him a glimmer of hope that he could go back to being a normal bloke. A normal bloke.
Good old normal bloke with a normal penis.
Okay, so Ralph said he could perform an arm graft procedure, which would take up to 2 years. Again, we're continuing from the, what is it, the Daily Mail here?
Good old
New York Post here.
Yeah.
One of the two, both. They're always the same. Okay, so he got an arm graft procedure, receiving funding for the procedure because it would eventually allow him to urinate properly, not just perform sexually, according to the report. Quote, it was all my Christmases at once. I was so emotional because it was a chance at a new start, he said. I wasn't worried about the procedure because I had seen what Professor Ralph and his team could do. As far as I was concerned, they were my miracle workers, and I was up for anything that could give me my willy back.
That's probably my favorite quote of the article.
Give me my willy back! Willy! I need my willy back! Quote, not having a penis felt awful. It's most men's worst fear. For me, I was never worried about sex because I already had 2 children. I was always more about my self-confidence and simple things like using the loo.
Oh, so he just felt bad, like the urinal stall
situation. Like,
yeah.
Look, and I get that because I'm a stall guy.
Yeah.
All right. I don't fuck with urinals.
No.
As a result of, I've explained
Always?
this. Always? I did so many drug tests where I had to have a dude, dude standing right behind me watching me piss. That I have
PTSD.
Sure, probably. Well, that too. But also, what's it called? Stage fright. Okay? So when I go into a sports stadium, and there's 400 dudes in line for the urinals, and they're all just disgusting fat people pissing all over the floor, just the dregs of society at sports games, and I'm one of them. No, so I wait in the line to go into the stall that reeks to high heaven because one of those other dregs of society just dropped $40 worth of nachos into that thing
and
out of his
2 cases
asshole.
of Bud Light. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in there like this, but I hold my nose, but I have to pee, and that's where I feel safest.
Hey, another upside of COVID, spaced out urinals forever now. You'll never have to worry about two
Bumping
people
elbows.
side by side ever again at the urinal. Guarantee it.
You've seen Ace Ventura 1, right? Mm-hmm. Pet Detective?
Yeah.
You know
It's
the
been a
part when
while.
he's going around, he's scoping out all the dolphins to see who has the missing diamond in their Super Bowl ring?
Yes.
And at one point he saddles up next to a guy at the urinal and he's looking over
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And then the guy thinks he's
Inspecting the goods.
and then that guy ends up being into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Funny ass scene. Shouts to Jim Carrey and that guy. Let's see what else. There's too many good quotes here. We can't
It's
skip
just
any of them.
fantastic. They created a urethra and installed 2 tubes inflated with a hand pump, allowing him to achieve an erection, which really brings blowjobs a whole new meaning, if we're being honest.
I'm sorry. We're talking like the old pump basketball shoes,
Yeah,
except
it's like
for
he's
his
got a Reebok pump, but it's just
for his cock.
Yes.
They need to put that button on his belly button, like the pump, and then he just pumps by pushing his belly button. That would be dope. But
Or
I
he
want
has-
like it needs to be the Reebok style pump.
What if he had just like a belt at all times, and then when he's about to get, the goods going on,
Sure.
it's like you just hear an air mattress style inflatable pump going. Brrrr.
Oh, those are loud though.
Yeah.
Those are real loud.
Just like, yeah, they are loud.
but then it lets everybody around know
no,
like
you're
he's
like,
ready to
it's,
fuck.
It's time to go. McDonald's getting horny again. I hear that pump going.
Okay, the shaft was removed from his forearm, leaving the base, allowing it to form naturally as skin and tissue, and he's waiting for it to be transferred to its proper location. So to be clear here, they built this cock on his arm temporarily. Eventually, it's going to go back where a penis normally goes.
Yes.
But they got to grow it first.
Which is your genital area, if you didn't know.
I just still don't get why. Like, put it on my back or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your
My
back?
arm?
Do you
So
wanna-
now I'm just walking around society with a dick flopping around?
Well, the photos for this article are pretty hilarious. In some of them, he's wearing a long sleeve button-down shirt. In some of them, the sleeves are rolled all the way down, so you'd have no idea. And then a couple of them, it's like rolled up, and it's just blurred out. If you're on YouTube, you can see me right now.
bar
Yeah, his arm is straight out, and he's got like a blurred out rectangle right down the side. They are hysterical.
Look,
Hysterical.
I need to see this dick.
You
Because
can't find it.
if he paid $65K and it's not a beautiful dick,
It better be gorgeous.
this needs to be the perfect penis.
Yeah.
And he tacked on the 2 inches for $15K additional. That's an expensive dick. I will also add, in the grand scheme of things, I paid, what was it, $9,000 for one tooth?
Yes.
I think this is a good price he got here.
Yeah.
Like a full set of teeth is like, if you buy a full set of the whatever they're called, implants, I think it's like 100 G's. A dick for $50K is a good deal.
That's a bargain.
Plus 15 grand. I'm almost looking at the doctor like,
Are you
"What
sure?
are you like a bunk? Is this like you're gonna hit me with a fake? Are these like fake Yeezys that I'm paying for? Why is the price so low? I need my dick should cost at least
What would
300
you feel
grand.
to know that you think
$300,000.
That's when you would be like, okay, I know that I'm getting a perfect dick.
A good a
Penis.
quality penis built on my arm, and I'm assuming insurance takes care of part of this or a lot of it.
Well,
I don't
he
know.
said because it had to deal with him urinating as well, it's being funded through insurance
and
also.
not just sex. That
Not
was the loophole.
Not just sex.
That was the loophole.
And also, let's be honest. He said he's not worried about sex because he already has 2 kids. I call
That's a
bullshit.
lie. That's a fucking lie.
And
That's
I
a
think,
fucking lie.
and the
You
way
don't grow an arm
you
on
wanna
your,
know
a dick
how
on your arm unless you care about fucking eventually again.
You want to know how I know that? Because he told the writers to put separated in this article so everybody would know he's single.
Genius.
Genius.
By you and him.
Mm-hmm.
Another quote. When I saw it on my arm for the first time, I was so proud. After everything I had been through, it didn't feel weird at all. It was just a part of me. I was like any other man. I just couldn't leave it alone to begin with. Wait, what? I thought it was the best thing ever. Does he mean he couldn't stop like playing with it? Anyway, quote, I took to it so much I nicknamed it Jimmy. That was what me and my mates called each other growing up, and this penis was definitely my new mate. End quote. Not joking. Serious. Jimmy.
So this is the
Because
nickname?
that's what him and his boys called
That's what I'm
each other.
saying. So imagine he's hanging out with one of his old boys, and he's like, "Oh, Jimmy, you're looking great today." His buddy's like, "Oh, thanks, Mac. Appreciate it, bro." And
he
he's like,
pulls
"No,
out
I'm
the
talking to
pump.
my Willie.
My Willie.
Talking to my Willie."
He's going to go use the loo with his new Willie named Jimmy. Quote, that they can make a new penis at all is incredible, but that they can build it on my arm is mind-blowing. It looks like something out of a weird sci-fi comic, but it's my chance at a normal life. It's been the first step towards being able to go to the toilet and even being intimate with someone.
See?
Now I need to know if he's made the sex with the arm
So
dick.
that's what I was gonna say. I think his current partner, until I noticed that he was single and separated, I think his current partner would probably be disappointed because his hand game has to be through the roof right now.
Oh my God.
He's got the Willie and all 5 fingers. Wow, he's crushing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like just mechanically like what this looks like from like a fucking standpoint, and I just don't know. Like the fact that he inflates it like a pool toy and then just goes just hammering away with his arm on God knows what. He's probably fucked everything in his apartment with this arm dick, including probably, hopefully. You know there's a woman that was down with this, that was like, "Yes, I will let you.
I'm sure
I will let you hit it from the back with your arm dick."
I'm sure there are plenty.
Because from the back, just don't look back at it and you're good. You don't know that it's an arm
Jesus
dick.
Christ.
You know that you just know it's a dick.
I'm sorry, Mom and
It's
Dad.
been inflated with a pump. Yeah, I'm sorry to my mom and dad too sometimes, but not right now. The new penis has still not been attached 4 years after the procedure due to a series of missed appointments, scheduling problems, staff shortages at the hospital, and finally, the coronavirus pandemic.
So this guy has had a penis on his arm for 4 years, and he missed the appointment to get it put down low?
I'm guessing there's some, he's scared, right?
You gotta be.
He's so
You
happy.
don't miss that appointment.
Right. He's so happy, though, that they built a new penis on his arm.
I think he likes it.
Yeah, well, clearly.
I think he likes it on his
he's
arm.
scared that if he goes to have it moved back down to the genital area,
Well, he loses a friend.
that it's, on the arm, he's closer to
Jimmy.
it, his head, his
Yeah.
Jimmy.
His Jimmy.
When he goes to the loo, what is he holding it over the,
Wait, he doesn't piss out of it on his arm.
how do you know?
Well,
Oh, wait,
I
that
mean,
wouldn't-
I guess
that
I
wouldn't
don't, but
That wouldn't make any
I
sense.
just assumed
They rerouted his urethra up through his
everything all the way
entire
through-
body to his
Yeah.
arm. Yeah, that's not what happened. God, I wish it was, though.
that'd be incredible.
God, I wish
Then
it
he
was.
could be a clown, and he wouldn't even need the little flower thing. He could just use his willy.
All right, a couple more quotes. I swear to God, we'll move on. Quote, people ask me about it when they see me in the pub, and of course people make jokes. But I get it. It's not every day you see a man with a penis on his arm. Of course I see the funny side. I have to. I don't have any other option. If I couldn't laugh at the willy on my arm, I'd be finished.
He'd be finished.
It's true.
At least he's got the self-awareness.
It's true. He said they canceled again because of the coronavirus. It feels like I'm cursed sometimes, adding that he hopes to have it finally grafted between his legs by the end of this year.
So would that be 5 years with a Jimmy on his arm?
A
With
willy
Jimmy-
on his arm.
A willy on his arm?
A willy named Jimmy on his
his
arm
arm.
so that he can use the loo like a real boy.
I feel like that could be the new, ice on my wrist.
Jimmy on my arm.
Willy on my arm.
Next headline. Humans battle monkeys driven sex mad and violent in Thai City. The monkeys, more than any other animal species as a result of COVID, have just gone absolutely batshit all over the world. They can't get the snacks and normal food droppings that we've been leaving around at zoos and such all over the place or in the market or whatever. So they've gone completely insane. From the Daily Mail, City of the Apes. Humans battle to reclaim Thai town from sex-mad monkeys starving during lockdown who rule the streets and attack anyone who enters Cinema Cemetery where they leave their dead.
Yeah. They've created a cemetery inside of a movie theater.
Cinema Cemetery. Yeah.
Cinema cemetery.
What in the fuck? It says residents
It's alliteration.
barricaded indoors, gang wars on the street, and no-go zones in the city. This is not the cartel Badlands of Mexico, but the Thai city of Lopburi, which is overrun by monkeys.
Good old monkeys.
In
They're
a
having
time,
themselves a good old time.
in a time before coronavirus, locals tolerated the macaques. Had to be macaques. Had to be.
Had to be.
Had to be macaques.
Perfect transition.
Good God. thought to number 6,000 amid a human population of 750,000 because they attracted tourists who paid good money to feed them fruit and take pictures, which is obviously no longer happening. And I believe this is the second time in the past few months that this has started to get out of control in this city of Lopburi, if I'm not mistaken. But lockdowns have obviously stopped tourists from coming. Monkeys are out of food. They've gone completely insane. In March, they were pictured getting into a mass brawl over bananas after the supply dwindled. People have since taken to feeding them junk in an attempt to keep the peace. But many believe the sugary diet has turned them sex-crazed, and they are now breeding faster than before.
It's just a frat party, basically. Everybody gets their McDonald's at the end of the night, and then everybody's horny and ready to go to bed.
Are you saying McDonald's is an aphrodisiac?
When you're drunk and at a frat party.
Yeah, honestly, just thinking about
Any
like a
food-
10-piece nuggets right now has me a little horny.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have skipped lunch.
No. They took over the cinema, though. Now acts as their base.
Yeah, they have a headquarters. They're like Bolen Media, too. They're just crushing.
The burial ground is in the projection room, and anyone who enters gets attacked. So, like, I'm imagining that they found that out. They were like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. The projection room's filled with dead monkey bodies.
Yeah.
Steve, you got to go in there. You got to go in there with the push broom and clean these monkey bodies up. Get them in a big trash can. We got to clean out the projection room. And Steve went in like, yeah, I got this. I'll just go clean up these monkey corpses right quick. And then was immediately attacked by, like, the 5 bodyguards that these very organized, Planet of the Apes-style monkeys have set up there to keep their dead.
Yeah.
Resting in peace.
Next headline, Steve dies from monkey attack in cinema cemetery.
I wonder how many people have been gotten by these
Dude, it seems like they're going
deranged
crazy.
monkeys here.
People are putting bars on their windows to keep the monkeys out from getting in and stealing the food and attacking their faces.
Everybody thought Shy City was hard. It's Thai cities that have these kind of issues with insane, sex-deranged, starving macaques.
Dude, the macaques are taking over.
Macaque!
This quote says, their excrement is everywhere. The smell is unbearable when it rains.
Oh.
Could you imagine?
Have you ever been to a rodeo?
Yeah.
You ever been Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo?
Yeah.
There's this very distinct smell when you walk through like the pens where they keep all the animals. And it's so much animal shit.
Yeah.
That it's not even like regular shit smell anymore. It's like some higher, like it's leveled up to another plane of just absolute horror for your nostrils.
It's the same with like really, really, really fresh mulch. It's got that smell that gets so deep into your, like I couldn't even imagine, because this is not only, at least at the Houston Rodeo Show, it's like fresh shit, right?
Sure.
It's maybe the last 2 days, 3 days.
I think surely they clean it up every day. Sure.
We're going like 4 months old here.
It's a lot of monkey shit, man.
And 6,000 monkeys who apparently are sex crazed and breeding like rabbits.
And taking over movie theaters, which are derelict.
It's kind of sick they have a HQ, though. I wonder if they were setting up a government in there.
We got to have a room for the bodies at Bolen Media HQ. I think it's the lesson to learn here.
Ooh.
We need a projection room for the bodies.
Just for the bodies.
Yeah.
I wonder how their coronavirus response is going.
What, the monkeys?
Mm-hmm. If they have set up their own self-government. So they have a headquarters.
You think they've got the nostril testing going in the HQ?
Probably.
Like, the projection room is the cemetery.
They take their temperature when they walk in the door with the
the old popcorn stand is where they're doing the nostril tests.
Yeah.
You go into the popcorn fucking thing and they shut the door and they nostril test you and then they let you out.
I'm just imagining a monkey. There's like one monkey in priest clothing that reigns over all the monkeys, and he just sits atop the projector screen just looking over his dead and his people.
Yeah, he blesses the dead in the projection room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These monkeys are crazy, man.
Anyway, those are insane headlines for episode 319, which is also brought to you by Echelon. Everyone knows that Coles and I are back on the Ross Fit grind. We are coming out of this shitstorm of a year. Harder, better, faster, stronger, like 2007 Kanye West. Across the country, we're staying home for the greater good. And while we're all learning how to become productive and healthy homebodies, with Echelon, it doesn't mean you have to sit still or cough up all your dollar bills. Echelon has a huge lineup of connected fitness bikes, fitness mirrors, rowing machines that give you a fun and challenging workout from the comfort and safety of home. In as little as 20 minutes, you can get into the best shape of your life and be active with the entire family. Their world-class instructors will motivate you with daily live and on-demand classes that are always available when you need them. And unlike their competitors, Echelon is affordable for everyone. Their EX1 connected fitness bike is less than half the price of a Peloton. Less than half the damn price. Echelon has an arsenal of high-tech fitness products at prices anyone can afford, like the Reflect Mirror that brings first-in-class fitness instruction to your home, or their all-new rowing machine that they're releasing later this month. I'm absolutely scooping one of these rowing machines for us in the Ross Fit Gym as soon as I can. I just got my mom one of the bikes because her gym got shut down. She is super stoked. It just shipped. With Echelon financing, you can try them out risk-free for 30 days, zero down, and as little as $46 per month. And these are incredibly high-quality ass-kicking machines, folks. They will mold your soft ass into a monster. Take that sad quarantine body and make it into a hard, sculpted sex machine, the likes of which the world has never seen, and you can do it all without breaking the damn bank. Don't pay a ton for a Peloton. Don't be a doofus and burn money on wildly overpriced equipment. Get yourself looking and feeling light while your wallet stays heavy with Echelon, baby. It's the year of the comeback after all. If you haven't started your comeback yet, now is the time. Go to echelonfit.com/RBP. That's ECHELON fit.com/RBP. Next segment.
Grab your light. This is Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stop the Wikipedia when you're
Today's Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high is Houska Castle. Houska Castle, an early Gothic castle 29 miles north of Prague in Czechia. Chechnya. Why is there no N in my Chechnya?
I think it's
That's on me.
ooh
That's on me.
Czechoslovakia.
No, it's Czechia.
Oh, is it Czechia?
It's the Czech Republic, also
Czech
known by
Republic,
its short
or
form
Czech-
name,
yeah.
Czechia. I think.
I
You know I'm
better with
ignorant
my,
scum.
My Eastern European names.
Ignorant scum. This castle is ridiculous, though. This is one of the more ridiculous stuff to Wikipedia is when you're... I'll do the boring part, and then you can tell us some of the fun details. It was built in the second half of the 13th century, probably on the orders of Bohemian ruler Ottokar II of Bohemia during his reign between 1253 and 78, to serve as an administration center from which the extensive royal estates could be managed. During World War II, the Wehrmacht occupied the castle until 1945. The Nazis were said to have conducted experiments into the occult. Okay? So here's your first little sprinkle of weirdness, right? According to one source, multiple myths abound about their supposed occult involvements there. Another source states locals believe that the Nazis had been using the, quote, powers of hell for their experiments.
This is actually what led them to go on the search for the Lost Ark, to get the powers of heaven, to battle the powers of hell. That's what Indiana Jones told me.
As early as 2020, the castle was open to the public and had been since 1999. Tourists may visit the chapel with fading frescoes and murals, quote, including pictures of demon-like figures and animal-like beings. But the folklore surrounding Houska Castle is what makes it completely bonkers. Coles, do you want to hit us with some of these ridiculous details?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, honestly. Shouts to the listener that sent us Houska Castle as a rec for Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high. But Houska Castle, and most specifically the chapel, was constructed over a very large hole in the ground that allegedly is a gateway to hell, which is said to be so deep that nobody could see the bottom of it.
Now, we didn't pull this information from, creepycastles.net or some shit.
No.
This is legitimately off Wikipedia.
Yep. This is exactly what it says under the folklore section.
Quote, it has been constructed over a large hole in the ground that is allegedly a gateway to hell. A gateway to hell.
Literal gateway to hell.
It's the opposite of a stairway to heaven.
Animal and human hybrids were reported to have crawled out of the hole, as well as dark-winged, otherworldly creatures that flew around the vicinity. There's a lot of really, really weird circumstances surrounding the castle. First of all, it's in the middle of an extremely dense, heavily wooded forest that people wouldn't even hunt in because it was so difficult to navigate and traverse. It serves no strategic purpose, as it is not on any source of drinking water. It's on no trade routes. It is not near any borders or close to any town worth protecting.
It's basically worthless other than the fact
It's built
that
over a really large hole.
The gateway to hell.
The gateway to hell.
And it keeps all the demons and such down in the hole.
So the first known structure built on this site was a small wooden fort that stood here back in the 9th century, but it's said that the Celts were in the area all the way back to the 6th century observing this fort or this hole in the ground in this area. There's a large Czech chronicle published in 1541 that describes some of the early history of the castle. But in the same chronicle, there's a legend that recounts the story of a strange crack in the top of a limestone cliff, a hole in the ground that was unimaginably deep and reputed to be the source of strange visitations. Some of the really weird things that's happened around the castle, for example, it's very common to find large amounts of dead birds in the inner courtyard of the castle.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, lots of fun. You know, you walk out, there's 2,000 dead crows just laying in the middle of the
It's
courtyard.
like that rat we found by my basketball hoop the other
Oh
day.
my
What the
God.
fuck was that about?
Yeah, maybe we're over the gateway to hell.
Maybe. Bolen Media HQ is over the other gateway to hell in Austin, Texas.
It's just surreal.
Legend has it that when construction began in the castle, all of the inmates that were sentenced to death were offered a pardon if they consented to be lowered by rope into the hole and report back on what they saw. When the first person was lowered, he began screaming after a few seconds, and when pulled back to the surface, he looked as if he had aged 30 years. He had grown wrinkles and his hair had turned white.
Yeah, that.
Jesus
I could probably
God.
maybe I should go like halfway down. I could probably use a quick 10 years. Then we'd be right on the same level.
If Benjamin Button had known about this, he could have fixed his whole shit. He just
Holy
waits
shit.
until he gets back to baby, then they lower him down into the fucking gateway to hell, pop him back up. He's 30 years old again.
You think this is where the term raise the roof comes from? All the demons trying to get out of the hole in the ground and raise the roof of hell?
The roof is on fire. Let
That's
that
definitely
motherfucker
where
burn.
it come from.
According to the Prague tourism website, the castle is reputed to have various types of ghosts, a, quote, bulldog/human creature, a headless horse, and an old woman, as well as the remains of, quote, demonic beasts who escaped the pit. Why would anyone go here? Again,
No, why?
no purpose for it to exist other than the fact that it is terrifying.
Why was this castle built on a site that was historically covered with impenetrable woods, not even suitable for hunting, with no borders, trade routes to defend?
Dude, this is where we're going for our first Bolen Media, like...
Vacay?
No, like not vacay, like team building activity. It's just going to be you and me in Houska Castle. We're going to rent a room, preferably as close to the gateway to hell as we can.
Sure.
And just see what's what. Maybe
Just
middle of the
vibe.
night I lower your ass down in there. Instead of now you'll be the old guy on the show instead of me.
Look at that.
You'll be 51.
Just vibe, no phones in sight.
And I'll be 33 and I won't have to make any other jokes about myself being the boomer out of our twosome anymore. Wouldn't that be something, Coles?
That would be. I think that'd be fantastic. Also, in the 1600s, the castle was occupied by a Swedish mercenary, and nobody knows what he was doing there. But he terrified the local peasants to the point where they wouldn't get anywhere near the castle.
Why were there local peasants?
It doesn't make nothing about it makes sense. Also, the experiments the Germans were doing during World War II, that's all very
Germans.
weird. Apparently, the Nazis were definitely into the occult and more mysterious dark magic sides of the world.
They were sick fucks, those Nazis.
Oh yeah, don't ya know?
I do know, hun. I do.
It's just bizarre. I'd
Anyway.
like to go see the Gate of Hell. I definitely think there's things in the world that we definitely don't fully understand, and I don't want to discredit the idea that this may have something supernatural going on there.
Hey, shouts to Houska Castle for keeping us all safe. You didn't know it, but there's only one thing standing between us and, like, the presence of millions of demons and old
Houska.
women and a bulldog/human, and it's Houska Castle. RBP 319 is also brought to you by Hawthorne. Too many guys I know picked a cologne in high school, and they've been rocking with the same shit ever since, and it's a disaster. You smell like a high school gym locker room or a teen apparel store in the mall. Smelling good is important, and that's where Hawthorne comes in. Hawthorne smells really, really good, and getting their cologne is so damn easy. You just go to hawthorne.co. You'll take a very quick quiz to figure out which scents are best for you. It legitimately takes 2 minutes, and just by taking it, you'll see exactly what Hawthorne is doing for you, hitting you with the 2 colognes that are best for you, one for work, one for play, totally risk-free shipping and free returns. They also have other incredible personalized products like deodorant, shampoo, body wash, conditioner. I have all of that shit going now, and it's very tight. This morning after we did RossFit, hopped in the shower, got the Hawthorne shampoo, got the Hawthorne conditioner, got the Hawthorne body wash working, and now I smell like some delicious man candy instead of a disgusting pig who was just raised back up out of the gates of hell at, what's the name of the castle?
Houska.
Houska Castle. Houska Castle. The quiz you take is super quick, asks you all the questions you've ever wanted to know about your hair, your skin type, like straight or curly, oily or dry, all that good stuff. And Hawthorne is going to get you everything your skin, hair, and body needs to stay so fresh and so clean. Check out Hawthorne at hawthorne.co. That's Hawthorne with an E. And use our code ROSS to get 10% off your first purchase. That's HAWTHORNE.co. Code ROSS. 10% off your purchase at hawthorne.co. Code ROSS. Next segment. Hotline calls.
Hotline.
So quickly to explain, 888-WR-BOLEN is our hotline. 888-WR-BOLEN. You can call any time of day or night, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. It's a 2-minute limit. You ask a question, throw out a hypothetical, a trash or not trash. You could sing us a song if you'd like, whatever you want. If you just need to vent because you're in traffic and you're about to road rage, don't do that. Call 888-WR-BOLEN and let it rip on the hotline and just say at the front, this isn't for the show, I just need to rage. And do your thing. We picked out a couple calls to play for y'all today just because it's been a minute since we heard your voices. And here's the first one.
Let's do it.
Ross, it's Connor from Pennsylvania. I was just listening to the latest episode. These are the days of our lives.
There you go.
And I was listening to Coles talk about the PLL, and
Like it?
I started watching.
shall we
I never watched it before. Most of the kids that played lacrosse in my school never wanted to, but I fucking gave it a shot. I like it. But now I'm going to put y'all into something. I play rugby. Rugby, the easier one to understand for Americans, I guess, would be rugby league. So the NRL in Australia, it's on the same kind of thing lacrosse is on. It's on NBC Sports and Fox Sports a lot later since it's in Australia, but they'll explain it as it goes along. It's a lot easier to understand. It was like the easiest rugby you can understand. But, yeah, if y'all want to look into that, that'd be cool. You can place bets on that, too. I've been telling my brother all the teams to place bets on. He's been doing good. But, yeah, gang. Thanks, Coles, and fuck yeah, Ross.
Fuck yeah, Ross.
Fuck yeah, dude. Mikey likes it. You're growing the game, Coles.
Gotta grow the game.
How does it feel to be a part of growing the game?
You know that's actually like a lacrosse mantra, grow the game?
I thought it was soccer.
No, definitely not. Either we stole it or I'm taking it.
Nope, you're right. It's lacrosse.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Hey.
But I'm growing the game.
Hashtag grow
Shouts
the game.
to Bubby. Bubby told me, my buddy that was on my lacrosse team with me in high school, he texted me,
Bubby.
he said, grow the game, what good stuff, like way to be a good voice out there for lacrosse. This for you, Bubby.
Bubby, you go spin that spoon, Bubby.
Oh, he plays for Roanoke. He's disgusting. He's a spoon spinner.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Keep spinning that spoon, Bubby.
Keep spinning. But Mikey, thank you, right?
No,
Is
his
it-
name's not Mikey.
Oh. Was
No.
it Connor?
Mikey
I
likes
think
it
was
as a
Connor.
joke from
but-
long before you were alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't get
No,
the
you're okay.
reference. Sorry
Every
about
once in
that
a
one.
while, my old ass will make jokes that you're not meant to understand. They're
Yeah.
not for you. They're for the olds.
Yeah, not for me.
He wants
That's
us to watch
they're for
rugby,
the
though.
boomers. I'm more than willing to give rugby a shot. Have you ever seen Australian rules football by chance?
Is that not rugby?
No, it's similar to rugby, but you can like hop up on people's shoulders and catch the ball on their
You
shoulders.
can use other humans
Mhm.
as a springboard.
And my old neighbor, he's actually a F1 commentator for NBC Sports, but he's an Aussie, and he showed me Australian football growing up. Fell in love with that. So if rugby's similar, more than willing to give it a shot because that shit was so much fun to watch.
Good eye, mate. Let's
Good
throw
eye,
another
mate.
shrimp on the barbie.
Oh God.
Let's
I don't know
not.
if you can be racist.
That's
to
from Dumb and Dumber.
Australians,
It's from Dumb and
but-
Dumber. It's not racist. It's from Dumb and Dumber. Just for the record, I have watched rugby,
Okay.
and it is bonkers.
Yeah?
Like, I've watched it both on TV and in person. Not a whole lot, but like a little.
Yeah.
A couple of the dudes in my fraternity in college were on the club rugby team or whatever.
At Texas State.
Huge individuals.
Sure.
Yeah, people get crushed out there. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't really know like how everybody leaves breathing.
So I was with a guy last week that goes to Cal Poly that I met down here. He plays rugby at Cal Poly on scholarship, and he told me that rugby is safer than football. That's
fucking
That's
insane.
the quote that he told me. I don't know why.
Look, I'm not going to
I
sit
don't
here and
remember
pretend
why.
like I know medical science enough to argue one way or the other, but that seems like an insane claim.
I agree.
The sport with no helmet, no pads, versus
I think it's
the one with
because
all of the pads.
football, there's the chance that you could have a very long run up and just get clocked. I don't think in rugby that type of
doesn't
run
happen as
up-
much.
No, not
There's
as
no
much.
kickoff,
No.
which is why they
So-
keep talking about doing away with the kickoff, because that's where people get rocked.
But if I can bet on it, I'll watch it.
It's another
Send it
sport
our
to
way.
bet on. Another sport to bet on.
Just send us picks. We need picks.
We do need picks. Tweet us
If
picks.
we're going to watch rugby, we need picks because we need somebody to pull for.
I need somebody educated throwing me picks. And by somebody educated, I mean one of you doofuses who watches rugby on occasion just throwing me picks. We got another call. Here it is.
Yo, what up, Ross? My name's Elliot. I'm coming to you from Door County, Wisconsin. It's like July 28th. I'm just going to cut to the chase, man.
Okay.
I was watching your Snapchat, or no, not even your Snapchat, it was your Instagram story. And I see your house, like the background layout and like the front yard, the driveway layout sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I don't think I've ever heard you talk about like your landscaping or like what you do to beautify the outside of your house. So I guess I'd love to hear what you got to say on that. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. You got a fucking bomb podcast. Much love. Gang, gang, gang.
TY.
Okay. Okay. He cut to the chase and wants to talk about landscaping. He says we've never spoken on landscaping. Here's the thing. You don't hear me talk about this shit because I don't know anything about it. What I found out is my 21-year-old counterpart is in fact a landscaping aficionado.
I wouldn't call myself a landscaping aficionado,
But you
Ross.
dig it.
But I do dig it. It's one of those things that
You're the foremost expert in the entire world on landscaping is what you told me off mic.
Off mic, off record, but that was off the books. No, so it was one of those things that like I grew up with my dad doing lawns all the time because he was a fireman. My dad was a fireman for a long time, also worked in NASCAR, and so he had full days off quite often. And so as a little side gig, we had a trailer and he had a ride-on lawnmower, so we'd put the lawnmower on the trailer and we'd go mow people's grasses for, he's really good at it. He makes lawns look great. And it was I think it was like a father-son work bonding experience type of thing that he wanted to do. But growing up, we usually do this because I had school and everything, either on a summer day or on a Saturday. So I hated it.
It's quite hot.
Hated it. Well, not because of that, just because I was
taking up
missing
your
out.
free time.
Yeah, I was just taking up my free time.
You had FOMO.
Yeah, exactly. And like I played lacrosse 4 seasons of the year pretty much. So when I had time off, I didn't want to be cutting grass. Now, I love cutting grass. It's very therapeutic to me. I go out, I cut my own grass at the juice box. I go outside, I throw headphones in, I throw my boots on and jeans. I feel like a real old cowboy, and I cut the grass, and I feel great about it. And it's also very...
If you're wearing boots and jeans in August cutting your grass, you're fucking insane.
Shirtless, though. You got to get the whole look
What is
together.
this, a porn?
Potentially.
Is this a porno?
Yeah, that's the intro for it.
This is what you're doing
It's just the intro
for the chick down the street whose number you got or whatever.
I push the lawnmower all the way down the road.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as I pass her house, I turn around and come back.
You need to go offer to mow her lawn, shirtless in your boot-cut jeans and
Oh,
your
there,
boots.
buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need
Oh, you're not trying to just throw down on extra lawns for free?
No, that's a very sacred thing to me. I can't touch your grass or your bush.
True,
I must
fair
stay
enough.
away from both.
You True Detective Season 1 at one point, McConaughey cuts Woody Harrelson's grass,
Uh-huh.
and Woody Harrelson loses his fucking mind.
Yep.
Which, in fairness, if I'm married with 2 kids and I come home and find my partner, you, in this case, cutting my grass, we're going to have words. That would be a problem. I wonder if your dad was disgusted by my lawn, because it's not so much grass anymore as it is like 100,000 four-leaf clovers or something. I don't know if that's a good sign.
You have a great Texas landscaping. You have a lot of pebbles. That's what I've noticed from a lot of people in Texas that don't want to have to, we do
xeriscaping.
Yeah, exactly.
We do a lot of that.
You just put a lot of rocks and cacti everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so many cacti.
I've told y'all this, but like the reason it's not that I enjoy a good lawn mowing experience.
Yeah.
I'm big on, I love that you get the fucking, you go down one
As
row,
somebody with-
next row you try to get it perfectly lined up.
Exactly. So that was my favorite thing as I got older about cutting grass is a well-groomed yard. You can really tell where the lines are if it's been well fed and watered correctly and everything.
Like a well-mowed baseball field.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Beautiful. I mean, like our grass back home, my dad gets it looking like you have 2 shades of green. You have light green and then right beside
See?
it dark green. And he crisscrosses.
That takes fucking...
He checkerboards
Oh,
it.
you're fucking with me.
No.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
That's
Every
one of
time
those like chore nut moments.
It is
You've
a
got
nut
power
moment.
washing,
Yes.
and you've got this with the fucking lawn mowing.
Yes, absolutely.
There've gotta
But
be
back to
more.
the call. If I had to give any advice for how to take care of your grass, if you have the ability to, water your grass at least a couple times a week if you can. If you're not in a drought, as well as you can afford the extra water expense. Also, at least once a year, probably before springtime, right after the last freeze occurs, you want to
Freeze. That's funny.
seed and fertilize your yard with an aerator, which basically pokes a bunch of holes in the ground.
It's time to freeze.
Put seed and fertilizer
Just
in there.
ignore me. Just talk. Just
And
ignore
then,
me.
as well, every time that you cut your grass, you want to try to be cutting once weekly to keep it healthy and cut low, as well as you want to edge your driveway to make sure it's looking very clean and neat, and then you want to blow everything back into the yard to make sure your driveway and road stays clean and looking good.
I love a good leaf blower.
If you do those simple tricks, you'll have a good-looking yard in about a month.
What we've done for you here is provide you with just invaluable lawn maintenance and landscaping information.
Also, if your
To
lawn
close out
goes
the
to
show.
shit, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
And if you take my advice and it goes to shit, I didn't say anything.
There's some regional bias to your advice. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas yards are way different. They just like
You
to
don't-
die.
Yeah, it's just hell down here in the summer. It's
And then
just-
if you walk
they're
on
just
them,
getting absolutely baked by the sun every day.
no, seriously. And then we were all in the or a couple of us and my roommates were in the backyard last week, and now we just have dirt patches everywhere. The grass is just gone.
Did you have a slip and slide going?
Not yet.
Uh,
We'll get there.
okay. That was it for the hotline calls today. That's all we have time for. 888-WR-BOLEN again is the hotline. Before you head out to take on the world, it's time for some very important announcements. First and foremost, you have 3 legal obligations you've been saddled with as a result of having listened to this entire podcast. Number 1, rate and review. Rate and review. Check that box. Move on to number 2, share the show with one person. One person. Number 2 is to share the show with one person. All right? A family member, a coworker, a neighbor, any one individual you think might enjoy
Your
the Ross Bolen
landscaper.
Podcast. Could be your landscaping guy.
He
Could
listens
be.
to a lot of podcasts
Hey,
and music, I'm
he
sure.
needs something to jam out there while the fucking thing is going forever.
Yeah.
Number 3, use our sponsor codes. We had 3 sponsors today. Thank you so much to Cuts Clothing. Go to cutsclothing.com/RBP. Echelon. Go to echelonfit.com/RBP. I actually just received a text message from my mom, and her Echelon showed up mid-recording, and she just said, Yay! Look, if you're watching on YouTube, you might be able to see. Yeah, you can see the box. Hawthorne. Oh, did I say echelonfit.com/RBP?
Yeah, you
I did. Hawthorne. Hawthorne with an E on the end. Hawthorne.co. The code is Ross. And those are your 3 legal obligations. Check those boxes. I'll call off the dogs. We don't have to see each other in court, and we can all live long and prosper. Follow the show on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast, on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod, and on Facebook. You can find us no matter your age. Maybe you're young and you like Facebook. I don't know. That'd be crazy to me. Zuckerberg covers his face in very, very white sunscreen when he goes surfing, and I find that to be extremely disturbing. But that being said, I love Instagram, and he bought that hoe up, as we discussed last episode. So if you want to follow us on Facebook, no more hate towards the elderly and or older than me. Just follow us. I don't know. Or like us. What do you do?
I don't know.
Poke us on Facebook. Chris, where can
Oh my
everybody follow
God.
you on social media? I'll do me second.
You can follow me on Instagram at ChrisSC99. You can follow me on Twitter at Q0ULS. And you can follow me on Snapchat at Chris_Coulson. That's COULSON.
You can poke me on Facebook at WR Bolen. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at WR Bolen, at WRBOLEN. And then we're on twitch.tv/BossRollin. Season what of Warzone just dropped?
5, baby.
We're going to be on tonight, almost definitely. You can
The
believe that.
stadium's open.
It's happening. Twitch.tv/BossRollin tonight. Come through. Almost 1,000 subscribers. Tonight's the night. I can feel it, Coles.
Tonight's the night.
We're going to hit 1,000,
And
which
then
will
we'll-
make us legitimate streamers.
And strippers, because our nipples will be out.
We did show Nip multiple times in the last stream. I have to say it's been...
I don't know what Twitch's maximum nipples per hour is, but
We
we're
violated
getting close.
it. We violated it. Check out Bolen Media's television and film podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, available wherever RBP is available. Again, that's Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. We are covering Perry Mason on HBO right now, as well as The Great on Hulu. And if you're not watching either of those, we cover general TV and film news every single week in the form of a segment called Tidbits and Such with Barrett, which is legitimately my favorite part of the show. My co-host is Mr. Barrett Dudley, who's been one of my best friends for like 17 years now. And that will do it for RBP 319, produced by Myrriah, Gossett, and Mike Moody Garcia of Permanent Record Studios in Austin, Texas. We will be back Wednesday for episode 320, and of course Friday on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast with another exclusive premium ad-free episode for dues-paying members of the RBP gang pledging their monthly support to keep the podcast alive and growing. Minimum of just $5 monthly on Patreon, patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. Come through, support the show, get more RBP. You are not alone. Podman gets paid. Respect Mr. Park, strength and honor. Gang, gang, gang. Cole, say it.
Peace be with you, and also with you.